This project is get 140,000 star on the GitHub, and it's basically Karpathy inspired Claude Code guidelines. It's literally just a few simple principles that massively improve how AI coding agent behave. Because AI agent have some problem. It make weird assumptions, overcomplicate simple things, randomly edit file you never ask for, and sometimes completely break your project. So in this video, I'm going to show you this super simple CLAUDE.md file with only 4 rules. And honestly, if you use AI for coding, I think you should start using this immediately. We are going to test it using OpenCode with free AI models, build a simple application, and see why these 4 rules are actually so important. This is the simple project. As you can see, I have the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's basically just a user dashboard application. So let's try to click this cool left extension on the VS Code and try to see the result. As you can see, really simple. This basically just shows the total user, the active, inactive, and also we have table in here that have the name, email, status, and join. So we are going to try to implement these one right here. This Karpathy inspired Claude Code guidelines is basically just a single CLAUDE.md file. So basically we're going to try to using this and to implement that on the OpenCode. So let's try to open the OpenCode. My first task is basically add a feature to export user data, right? Just that's it. I just want to hit enter. Let's take a look how this AI handle this task. So basically the AI doing pretty good job. It's basically export the user data from this dashboard as a CSV and also as a JSON format. But that's the problem basically. If you take a look in here, right? As you can see, the first principle is basically make sure the AI don't assume anything. But as you can see, this AI is assuming we want to export the data using CSV and also using JSON. How? If I just want to export data just using CSV, I don't want to just JSON format in here, right? That's the first problem. So now let's try to run the same task, but now we are going to using the CLAUDE.md and we are going to use all these 4 principles. So let's try to just clone that file. Because I'm using OpenCode, I'm going to run that using this command right here. But first, I just want to make sure I just remove all the current code. Here we go. As you can see, it's clean right now. And then I just want to paste that and hit enter. Then as you can see, now we have this CLAUDE.md file, and this is basically just guidelines, and we're going to make sure this is going to be run, right? It's basically to make sure the AI is asking before implementing anything. If something unclear, the AI basically will stop and then asking a question. So that's what we want. So now let's try to close that. And then I'm going to open the OpenCode and try to running this same task. Add a feature to export the user data, but I'm going to also refer this add CLAUDE.md file. So let's try to hit enter, and now hopefully we get some question from the AI. Now, as you can see, the AI is stop coding and it's basically asking me a question. Should the export include all user or only the filter result? So I'm going to say filter user only. And then what format should the export use? CSV or JSON or whatever the format you want. So I like to using JSON for example. So now let's try to hit enter, right? That's the beauty if you're using the CLAUDE.md file. It's basically will make sure the AI not assuming anything in order to asking you a question if something unclear. So let's take a look at the result. As you can see here, we have the button export as a JSON. If I click that, it's basically will export all the user. As you can see in here, we have like a 8 user, right? Nice, it works. And for example, I'm going to filter that. For example, as you can see, the user is just 2 user right now. Let's try to export that, and hopefully we just see 2 user on the JSON. Here we go, right? It also works. That's basically just a simple example why this first principle is really important. Imagine if you have really big project, right? And also this second principle, simplicity first, is basically to make sure the AI will do the minimum code that solve the problem, nothing speculative. It's also really important. Instead of writing like a 200 line, it's basically could be like just 50 line of code. And also the third one is basically the touch only what you must clean up only your own mess. And also another one is the goal-driven execution. It's basically will transform tasks into the verifiable goals. That's also really important. So just make sure you're using that CLAUDE.md file. It's just basically one MD file that really important to make sure your AI is doing pretty good job, right? So thank you so much for watching and see you on another video.